Hello students. So today we are going to see in this chapter 10, okay, subject chapter 10, Python classes and objects. So we are going to see this topic, public and private data members. So the variables which are defined inside the class is public by default. These variables can be accessed anywhere inside the program using dot operator. So once you have created a variable inside the class, then by default it is public, which means you can access anywhere throughout the program, not only inside the class but also by outside the class with a dot operator with the object of the particular class. So with the object of particular class, you can access the public variable which is inside the class. Next is and the variable prefixed with a underscore. The variable prefixed with a double underscore becomes private in nature. These variables can be accessed only within the class. So when you create a variable with a double underscore before it, so with a double underscore before it, will make it as private variables, and these variables can be accessed only within the class. So you cannot able to access the uh, private variable outside the class, even if you have the object of that class. So this is a illustrated with the example. So here you can see that a class is created using a class keyword. The name of the class is sample. Here they have created a init function, which means that it is a constructor diff double underscore init underscore self comma n1 comma n2. Okay, so this is a variable constructor. Okay, so it is a constructor. So self dot n1 is equal to n1, self dot underscore n1 is equal to n2. So inside this class they are created two variable n1 and n2. N1 is a public one, but n2 is a private one, since they have used double underscore before it. Okay, and the next thing is they have created a method or function which is known as display. Okay, so display, and it contains only one variable. Okay, one variable or parameters. Okay, so that will print the variable value, okay, which is sent to it. Okay, so next is you can see that s is equal to sample 12 comma 14. Okay, 12 comma 14. You can see that s is the object of sample class. So they are creating the values, giving the values of n1 and n2 by using the arguments 12 comma 14. Next, s dot display, they are accessing the display method or function. Now they are printing the value. Okay, so they are printing the value s dot n1 uh, and s dot double underscore n1 n2, sorry. So here you can see that uh, the output. Okay, so the output, the above program, in the above program there are two class variables n1 and n2 are declared. The variables n1 is public variable and n2 is private variable. The display method, the display member method is defined to show the value passed to these two variables. The print statement defined within a class will successfully display the value of n1 and n2, even though the class variable n2 is private, because in this case n2 is called by method defined inside the class. But when you try to access the value of n2 from outside the class, Python throws an error because private variable cannot be accessed from outside the class. So here you can see that the display method will successfully display the two variables n1 and n2, but after that s dot display there are two statements. Okay, so in that first statement will execute properly, s1 dot s dot n1 will work properly, but the next statement s1 dot double underscore n2 will not be working properly because we are accessing a private member uh, outside the class with the dot operator. Okay, so you cannot able to access it, or Python will throw some error. So this is the output of the program. So class variable 1 is 12, class variable 2 is 14, value 1 is 12, but value 2 is 14 will not cannot be accessed, so it is throwing some error. Trace back. So you can see that sample object has no attributes. Okay, so next is sample program to illustrate classes and object. Okay, so here they have created a class named circle. So in that pi value is equal to 3.14 and init. Okay, so init is a constructor self dot radius is equal to radius. Okay, so next is another one function or method is created, area. So in that area uh, you have to give the radius. Okay, self dot radius. Okay, so return circle dot pi into self dot radius into 2. Okay, into 2 means that is power 2. So you can see that circle dot pi uh, into, okay, into radius square. Okay, pi square, pi r square is the formula for calculating area of the circle. And the next thing is define circumference. Okay, circumference is the function, so that also needs the radius. Okay, radius of the circle. So here you can see that return 2 into pi, uh, 2 pi r is the formula here. So 2 into circle dot pi into self dot r. Okay, self dot radius. So now r equal to input. So r equal to int input enter radius. So now c is equal to circle dot r. Okay, a circle of r, which means that, so they are creating object of the class circle, which is c, and they are transferring the value, which value that is entered by the user for radius is transferred by using this constructor. So now they are printing the value c, c dot area, c dot circumference. Okay, next is write a menu driven program for keeping records of books available in your school library. Okay, so you are creating a book record. Okay, so menu driven record means it will show you some menu, and that menu, if you select that menu, then you can do the actions. So this is the program. So class library. So you can see that you are creating a constructor self dot book name and self dot author. So now get data is a function that is used to retrieve the data from the user. So self dot book name is equal to input from the user. Okay, self dot author is equal to input from the user. Now display to display the answer. Okay, to display the result, you are using this function display self. So you'll be printing the self dot book name and self dot author name. Okay. Next, book is equal to array. Okay, empty list. Okay, it is a list. You can see that you can access the list by using this uh, square brackets. So ch is equal to y. Ch means it's a character. It consists of y as a value. So while character is equal to y, which means that it is always will be true. Okay, true. It will be showing add new book, display book in the result, and it will ask for the output. Okay, it will ask for the input by the user. So if you select one, you will do actions like add a new book. If you select two, then it will display all the books in the library. So if respect is equal to 1, L is equal to library, L dot get data, and book dot append is equal to L, append L. So here you can see that uh, respect is a variable. Okay, which is uh, which is the value that is given by the user. Okay, so if it is 1, the value is 1 which is entered by the user, then add new book. Okay, so add new book, so it will call the get data function. Okay, so this get data function will request the user to enter book name and author name, so that it will be assigned to it, and then you can see that it immediately appends as a book. Okay, so it's a variable that will be accessed as a list here. So this empty object, the object will be assigned as a value to a list. Okay, which is known as book. So next, if it is if the answer is false, RESP, respect input from the user is not 1, then when it is 2, then you can see that it will display all the books inside the um, display all the books inside the list book. So for x in book, x dot display, so it will get the objects which are available in the list book, and it will call the object, it will call the function which is display by using that object, so that you can get the particular name and author name of that book. So else, if there is no other option, if there is no other option, if say for example the user is entering value 3 to the input, then it is not available in this option, so it will erase a invalid input. So this is the output of this particular program. Mm. If you are having any doubts, you can ask me. Okay, so next program is write a program to accept a string and print the number of uppercase, lowercase vowels, consonants, and spaces in the given string. So you can see that class string is created. So class is a keyword and string is a class name. So they are initializing the constructor by using double underscore init and double underscore self. Okay, so self dot uppercase is equal to 0, self dot lowercase is equal to 0, and self dot vowel is equal to 0, and self dot consonant. Okay, so that is also equal to 0, So number of spaces is equal to 0. So set dot self dot string is equal to empty string. Okay, so by default it will add some values which is 0 to it. Okay, next you can see that get string. So this string, this is a function that is used to create which is used to get the data from the user. Self dot string. So by you can see that built-in functions like is upper. Okay, character dot is upper. So by using the for loop you can access the each individual character of that particular string, and you can classify it is uppercase or lowercase by using built-in functions like is upper, is lower, and vowels. Okay, if it is vowel then you have to compare with the set. Okay, so if there is any comparison between this set, you can it will be identified as vowel and the value will be incremented automatically. So by this you can see that uh, all the all the all the functions will be called by using the self.execute. So this will count all the values and print it. Okay, so next statement is display. Display is a function that is used to display all the outputs. So this is the output. Okay, so next program is write a program to store products and its cost price. Okay, display uh, all the available products and attempt to enter quantity of all the products. Finally generate a bill with the display the amount to be paid. So here they are creating a product list. Okay, so they are so my store is the product code, name, and the price and quantity. Okay, so all are empty list. Okay, so you can product code, product name, product price, and product quantity. Okay, so get data will get the data from the user. Okay, so which product code, which product name, and with the price and the quantity. Okay, everything will be received from this get data function. And the next thing is a display. Okay, it will display the stock. Okay, it will display the stock in the which means stock means the values that are available in the particular list. Okay, so next is print. Okay, so this function will display the bill. This will get the bill from the list, and it will uh, show you the calculated bill. Okay, so the next thing is append means it will add the uh, quantities to the product. Okay, it will add the quantities to the product, and it will calculate the uh, total value. Okay, so now they are using this s as object to call all the function. Then you can see that it will ask for the products. Okay, product code and product price, product and name, product price, and product quantity, everything from the user, and store it. So when you try to generate the bill, this will print the bill. Okay, so with this we are finishing the class today. We'll see the rest of the things in the next class. Thank you, students.